After about 40 years of pondering whether I would need one or not, I bought myself a BBC Micro late in 2022. I envisaged learning 6502 assembler, but that turns out to be a bit more complicated than I imagined. Maybe later. Looking around the net to find some periphery to connect to it, I found one of these. From the same era as the Beeb, it was used in schools, universities and labs for taking measurements and recording data from experiments. It has some programs in ROM and some RAM to store the data. You can then download the data to the BBC to save it to disk or to process it and display graphs and stuff. I got it quite cheap, untested, for parts or repair. No power supply, cables or instructions, just the unit itself. Almost fitted with a strange choice of power plug. First job would be to swap that out for a DC barrel socket. Job done. Next would be to find a data cable to connect it to the Beeb Micro. RS Components here in the UK used to sell a cable for it, but that was about 40 years ago. The next best option is to make one. I have some components left over from other projects, so I should be able to cobble one together. When I was preparing the parts, notice how I have trimmed the wires, by the way, it occurred to me that this cable would only have one purpose. It would not be compatible with anything else. Is it worth using the components and the hassle of routing cables around a Vero board just for one cable? Nah, bird nest it. 3D craft a cuboid to pot it in. No potting compound? Try 2 small tubes of 2-part epoxy. Screw the lid on. Job's a good 'un.